2 million years ago, your ancestors were on the menu. Not at the top of the food chain. Not apex predators, not dangerous. Just small, slow, naked primates with no claws, no fangs, no venom, no armor. Easy targets. The kind of animal that lions ate without much effort. There are fossils that prove it. Skulls with big cat puncture marks. Bones cracked open by hyenas. A child's skull, your distant relative, with talon holes from a giant eagle that carried it away. For most of human prehistory, if a lion saw you, you were lunch. Then something changed. Today, a healthy lion in the wild will see a human and walk the other way. Not because of guns, not because of cities. That behavioral fear goes back tens of thousands of years. So what happened? What was the moment a lion first learned, don't touch that one? Let's be honest about what early humans actually were. 3 million years ago, Australopithecus, your ancestor, was about 4 feet tall, weighed around 60 pounds, and spent a lot of time in trees, specifically to avoid being eaten on the ground. It didn't always work. Paleoanthropologists have found Australopithecus bones with leopard tooth punctures in exactly the pattern a leopard uses to carry prey up into a tree. They've found skulls with cave lion claw marks. The Taung Child, one of the most famous early human fossils ever discovered, was a 3-year-old, whose skull shows the distinctive damage of a large eagle strike. Something picked that child up and flew away with it. Early humans weren't hunters. They were scavengers at best, waiting for predators to finish eating, then rushing in to crack the bones for marrow. Before something bigger came back, your fear response to large predators is ancient and deeply wired. The way your heart rate spikes when you hear a low growl in the dark. The way your body freezes before it runs. That's not learned behavior. That's millions of years of being prey written into your nervous system. We were terrified of lions because lions ate us regularly. That's where the story starts. The shift began slowly. So slowly that no single generation would have noticed it happening. Homo erectus, appearing around 2 million years ago, was the first human ancestor to do something genuinely new. They made tools, not just sharp rocks for scraping meat. Actual crafted weapons designed to pierce and cut. And then, around 500,000 years ago, someone made spears. The Schöningen spears, found in Germany, perfectly preserved, are the oldest complete hunting weapons ever discovered. Wooden, balanced, aerodynamic, built to be thrown, built to kill something large from a distance. This changes everything. Before the spear, close range was where humans died. You could not fight a lion at close range and win. But a thrown spear at 20 meters? That's a different calculation entirely. Then there was fire. Lions hate fire. Every large predator does. The smell, the heat, the unpredictability of it. A fire in the center of a camp at night creates a boundary that predators instinctively avoid. The humans who figured out how to keep fire alive through the night suddenly had something that no other prey animal had. A perimeter that predators chose not to cross. But the real turning point wasn't defense, it was offense. We started hunting them. Cave lion bones have been found with human-made cut marks. The same marks left when you butcher an animal for meat and skin. Cave paintings in France and Spain show human hunters pursuing lions. Lion teeth and claws found as jewelry and ritual objects in ancient human sites. We weren't just defending ourselves anymore. We were going after them. Picture a specific night. Somewhere in Africa, around 100,000 years ago, a pride of lions has been watching a human camp for 2 nights. They've done this before, waited for the fire to die down, picked off a straggler at the edge. Tonight the fire is still burning, but they're hungry. The lioness at the front of the pride edges closer. She gets within 30 meters of the camp and something happens that has never happened to her before. The humans don't run. They move toward her. Shouting, banging rocks together, torches raised. 6 of them, spreading out in a line, cutting off her retreat routes. One of them launches a spear that grazes her shoulder, not deep, but it burns. She's an ambush predator. She's built for the moment of explosive surprise, the short chase, the takedown. She is not built for this. For coordinated, aggressive, loud, fire-wielding creatures who are coming toward her instead of away. She retreats. The pride retreats with her. She won't come back to that camp. This is the other thing about lions that matters. They learn. Not just individually and socially. A pride shares information. A young lion watches an older one avoid something dangerous and files that away. Cubs learn what their mothers avoid. One encounter like this doesn't change everything, but 1,000 of them over generations across the continent does. There's modern evidence for exactly this process. Researchers studying lion populations in the Amboseli ecosystem in Kenya found something striking. Lions in areas with Maasai warriors, who have a centuries-long tradition of hunting lions as a rite of passage, behave completely differently from lions in areas with other human populations. Maasai-area lions avoid humans more actively. They move at greater distances. They abandon kills faster when humans approach. The behavioral difference is measurable, consistent, and passed between generations within the pride. The lions haven't been hunted to near extinction in those areas. They've simply learned, through experience and social transmission, that Maasai means danger. Now stretch that process across 100,000 years. Every pride that tested humans and lost passed that information on or simply didn't survive to breed. Every lion that was bold enough to enter a human camp with fire got a spear for its trouble. Over enough generations, the lions that were cautious around humans survived. The ones that weren't, didn't. This is evolution working in real time, not genetic evolution, behavioral. The species didn't change. The collective learned behavior of the species did. A healthy, well-fed lion with an intact territory has essentially no reason to risk a confrontation with humans. The cost-benefit calculation comes out the same way every time, not worth it. The exceptions, the man-eaters, are always desperate animals, old, injured, starving. Normal lions, living normal lion lives, treat humans the same way they treat other things that have proven dangerous, with careful avoidance. Here's the clearest evidence that something fundamental shifted. Look at what happens when humans arrive somewhere new. The American lion, larger than any lion alive today, dominated North America for hundreds of thousands of years. Then humans crossed the land bridge from Asia roughly 13,000 years ago. Within a few thousand years, the American lion was gone. Same story with the short-faced bear, the dire wolf, the American cheetah. This pattern repeats on every continent: Australia, New Zealand, Madagascar. Humans arrive, and within a geological blink, the large predators disappear. Not from climate change, and from us. Cave lions vanished from Europe as human populations expanded and hunting pressure increased. The very animals that once ate our ancestors became our prey and eventually ceased to exist. That is not the track record of an animal that other predators treat as food. By 50,000 years ago, the power dynamic had completely flipped. We weren't avoiding predators. Predators were avoiding us. We weren't scavenging scraps from lion kills. We were driving lions off their kills and taking the meat. The moment a lion learned never to hunt humans again wasn't a single dramatic event. It was accumulated across thousands of nights, thousands of confrontations, thousands of generations, until the lesson was so thoroughly embedded in lion behavior that it functions almost like instinct. We didn't just stop being prey. We became the thing other apex predators learned to stay away from. Here's what makes this remarkable. You carry none of that history consciously. You don't remember the nights when your ancestors stood in a ring of fire with spears raised, shouting at a pride of lions until it backed down. That knowledge isn't in your mind, but it's in the world, encoded in the behavior of every large predator. 2 million years ago, we were small and slow, and something large ate us regularly. 100,000 years ago, we were fighting back. 50,000 years ago, we were winning. Today, a healthy lion sees a human and chooses a different direction. Not from a single lesson, from a lesson learned 10,000 times over, passed through generations. Embedded so deeply into lion behavior that it persists even in animals that have never been hunted or hurt by a human. They don't know why they're cautious, they just are. And somewhere in that instinct is the echo of a night. One specific night, maybe 100,000 years ago, when a pride of lions got close enough to a human camp to make its move, and instead found fire and noise and coordinated aggression coming back at them. And one lioness turned around and walked away, and never came back. If you want to know what else ancient humans were capable of, things that would genuinely surprise you, hit like. Drop a comment. Which predator do you think was the hardest for ancient humans to drive off? And if you're not subscribed yet, that's where the next one lands.